This video is going to have a few different things in it. I'm going to show, I'm going to coat the inside of the chassis on the Bel Air. I picked up this, I'd like to coat the inside of the chassis with Rust-Oleum rusty metal primer and then black paint. I've found that from all the years of working on cars and stuff, 40 plus years of doing this and using every product under the sun, when it comes right down to it, I've really not found anything better to use on undercarriages than good old Rust-Oleum. It really holds up well, and if you have surface rust, use their rusty metal primer, and that will, it really works. It truly does. And but anyway, I can't get in there with rusty metal primer or paint, so I ordered this. I've used this stuff in the past, and it seems to work pretty good. I got it on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. It was like $40 with tax and shipping and everything. But if you want to read this, pause it. This is why, one of the reasons, because I can't really get in there to really clean it, other than blowing it out with the air hose. But see, requires minimal surface preparation to be effective. And that's when I've used this in the past, like inside rocker panels, because it comes with this. So you can kind of spray it around, length of hose, so I can get up in there, and it has little spray nozzles out the side. I don't know if they show up there or not. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to use in the chassis. And I'll show a before and after with the inspection camera here. I got it sitting right up here. We'll do that. And then I got one other thing too. I've got the VIOFO A229 and this from VIOFO, and the T130 in the truck from VIOFO. And they sent me a motorcycle dash cam. Now my bike is 6 volt. That XL175 is 6 volt. So I emailed them and told them that before they sent it out to me. And my brother and I we inherited my dad's Polaris RZR. So we're going to install it on that. Now I don't know if we're going to do it in his barn. His barn, the only way he heats it is with one of those torpedo heaters with diesel fuel, and diesel's over 5 a gallon. So I don't know how much work we're going to do there, but I told him if you wanted to bring it down here, I could put the truck out and we could put the razor in here and work on it. So who knows what we'll do, but we'll get this installed. I'll show you a little bit of it before I move on with the video here. And also I have a clip of cleaning that one fan up that was sitting here, that really dirty Lakewood box fan. And I cleaned it up somewhat, and I made video of it when I did it about a week and a half ago. So I've been just looking for a video to add that to. This is going to be kind of a short video, so I'll add that into this video too. I unboxed this because I know my brother watches my videos and he'll want to see it. So this is the head unit that you can mount, and this is probably where all gadgetry, your memory card and whatnot goes in. And then obviously all your wire connectors, which these are like threaded waterproof connectors. I put one together there just so you could kind of see, and it comes with a fuse holder on the power lead. That's waterproof too. It comes with mounting stuff, mounting brackets, memory card, pretty much everything, the mic and the to start and stop recording manually. This will automatically start recording once you turn the key on and stop when you turn the key off. But if you want to record when the key's off, you can push that. This is the GPS that tells the speed and your location. This camera is not very big. You can see that's probably up with the arrow, but if I put it on the tape measure here, I don't know if this will, hopefully we can get you guys some ideas. So I'll start it at the 2-inch. So it looks like it's about 1 3/4 by maybe an inch tops. So they're not very big cameras, so they won't take up a lot of space, which is kind of nice. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of show this before instruction manual, before we install it, so my brother can kind of see a little bit about it. Did I state I'd put a link to the description in the video for that VIOFO M1 motorcycle cam? If I didn't, it will be in the description. All right, I'm gonna show you the inside of both the frame rails with the inspection camera before and after coating them. I cleaned this one out too. When I cleaned that one out with the air hose and the shop vac, I figured why it was a fog in here. You know, there was some loose scale and dirt inside this one, so I just cleaned it out at the exact same time. So both the frame rails I cleaned up, got the blowgun way up in there where the chassis kind of goes up there, got way up in there, got all kinds of stuff out of both rails. But this rail wasn't so bad because there was no animal nest or rodent nest in it, to where that one there was, but it wasn't as bad as what I expected it. And I was thinking about when you know, when I was cleaning that stuff out, there was cigarette butt filters and cigarette wrappers and stuff like that. And since I've owned this car, I have never kept it where a smoker has lived or anyone would be with cigarette packaging or anything. So I'm kind of wondering if that was in there from the previous owner. I bought the car, like I say, in 1978, and it could have been in, you know, something living in there before that. You know, I mean, I think the car was parked from 67 to 78 in an attached two-car garage. The original owner really wasn't driving it much after 67. From what I understand, talking to the family I bought the car from, like I say, I purchased this. It was a friend of mine in high school. His grandfather bought the car brand new, and from Arola Chevrolet. They're in East Point, I think, at Gratiot. It used to be called East Detroit, I think. Gratiot between 8 and 9 Mile. So that's where this, and the Chevrolet dealer is still there. It's called Genesis Chevrolet now. And I actually, in one of my past videos, it was a Gratiot Cruise video. If I find the video, I'll put a link to it in the description of the car parked in front of the dealership this car sold new from. All right, let me get this stuff in the paint shaker. It says right on here, I was just reading it to aggressive. It says shake can extremely well before use, and occasionally, again and often during application. All right, give it a few minutes in the paint shaker. It does have rattlers in there, as you can hear. There you can see inside the frame rail. It's pretty darn nice looking. And I'll even rotate it around. That's the rear of the frame rail. That's the very rear of the car back here. There. Am I showing it? Probably not. There. So, you know, there's this hole here that looks up into the chassis too. And then this side, which you already saw when I cleaned it out, there's a bolt. That is the bumper bolt, and or the exhaust hanger bolt. No, I think it's that bumper bolt right there. There might be the exhaust hanger, I don't know, but it's a... Anyway, there we go. That's actually down on the bottom. Oh no, that goes up through the top of the... I don't know where that bolt goes. Maybe it's just loose in there. Yeah, it's just loose bolt in there. I'll have to pull that out. Alright. Broken off from something. There we go. It's out now. One little speck of rust right there. I'll get that out too. I can just reach in there with my finger. I was able to reach in there with my finger and get this. That's the bolt that was laying in there. I was right here by the edge of the opening, so I'll just reach in there and get that, and then this will be all nice and clean. That is the back of the frame box there. Alright, I'll show you after. I probably won't show up as much because it'll be all black in there. So let me get that sprayed, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. I did get some cardboard to put out, and I am going to put some tape over these little holes that are in the chassis, just so I don't get overspray out this way on anything. It also states to spray that stuff between 70 and 80 and then keep it warm for 24 hours. So I did turn the heat up, turn it up to 68. I think that's plenty good, and I'll leave it set there for till tomorrow. I shook this can for 5 minutes, so hopefully that's long enough, and I'm going to shove it through the chassis here. I'm going to push it all the way up as far as it'll go. And then I'm going to spray. I think it's all the way up to the bend in the frame now. And then I'm going to squirt and pull. So we'll see how it comes out. I don't want to put the camera in there and get crud on it. So okay, I'm right here at the end, and I don't want to get spray out that hole either. Now, that stuff is drippy runny. You can see it dripped out on the tape onto the tailpipe up there on the cardboard running out, so must have got plenty in there. You can see it dripping. I have to get some lacquer thinner and wipe the tailpipe off so it doesn't smoke, but I thought that tape would hold it, but guess not. Oh well, we'll let it drip out, and then we'll move the cardboard to the other side and do the other side. Yeah, it got it pretty good. It looks like a little bit on the top there might need a little more, but all in all, it looks really good. I'll run one more shot down in there. I'll let it drip out a minute, and then we'll hit it one more time. Alright, that time it looks like we got the whole, still see a mist, we got the hole inside, still see a little mist in there of that spray, but we got that good, and it's definitely dripping out up there off the tailpipe. Left a pretty good sized puddle on the cardboard, so I'm going to let that drip out for half an hour or so, and then we're going to do the other side. Well, my battery on the camera went dead, and I didn't realize it, and here I videoed spraying all this for you guys, and it didn't show up with this, but it did show up with the inspection camera. I had to I ran that stuff through it 3 times before I got all of the chassis clean. And the microphone on this camera is this little hole right down here, and sometimes when I'm holding it I have my hand over it, so the sound may get muffled, so sorry about that. But yeah, that's pretty much all done. And now I'm gonna go way up in there, and I'm gonna take that hole where it's dripping out of the chassis right there, and I'm gonna spray it up in the frame there. I did the other side too. I cleaned all that out too with the air hose. So when I did clean that rat's nest out, I tried to clean all the boxed in parts of the chassis out, and it looked pretty good up in there before I blew it out with compressed air, but I still got dust and some rust scale out of there when I blew it out. So we're just gonna give it some of this, seeing I have it. Why not, right? That's the right frame rail, and it looks like I got a few spots where I pulled it along too quick, so I'm gonna go back and run it through this one a second time. That is the rear of the box. So I'll give this one a second shot, and I've been spraying in that bottom hole that it was dripping out of as far up as I could go in the curve in the frame too. There, now we got it all. Everything is nicely coated in there. And that's the back side. Alright, everything looks good. I'm happy with the way that all looks in there. That is the right hand frame rail going up over the... I just shoved the camera in there just to give you a look. There's a washer right there stuck in there and a bolt. See the bolt? There's no getting those out, so they're just going to sit there in the goo. That's probably been in there for, you know, since the car was new. But anyway, that was looking at the chassis going up over the axle. I don't know if I can show that with this or not. But anyway, so a lot of the chassis is all full now, all the way up to the where it goes in front of the diff. Along with the furnace running, you're hearing that ventilator there. It kind of got stinky in the garage from using this. But I used maybe 2/3 of the can in there, and I took the air hose and just gently blew this out so it's clear, so if I want to spray more in the future I can. It comes with this little tip on the can, and it has a little like spray thing like that, so you can just do you know, just small areas that you don't need this. But this is pretty handy to have when you're doing inside of things. Like if when I pull those rocker panel trims off, figure out why those clips are popping. If it's because the metal's deteriorated and I need to weld in new metal, I'll undercoat the inside of that after I finish it with this. And this is actually for using after you're 100% done. You know, you see a lot of these products that you can paint over, encapsulators and stuff. You know, I mean, when it comes right down to it, I think a lot of that stuff is just a waste of money. I think Rust-Oleum is really the best, you know, the best product there is for like rust stuff. But anyway, this will work good. This comes out like WD-40. It's really runny, but as it dries, it turns to a thick, hard, like greasy stuff. So it'll do the job. And you know, I can't paint over that, so I'm not going to paint. You know, how can I paint in the frame rails anyway, right? So I'm going to call that done. It looks pretty good. It's still dripping out a little bit here and there. I filmed inside, videoed with the Tesla camera inside the frame rails where they go up. Get the light here for you, where they go up over the axle there. There's the frame where it goes over the axle. So anyway, yeah, it's all pretty good. I'm gonna let it drip out for a couple hours and clean up the stuff on the tailpipes with some lacquer thinner. And I need to pressure wash the undercarriage of this car. Maybe this coming spring, get the pressure washer on this undercarriage. Kind of dusty and dirty, isn't it? One last note here, you can get this camera in a kit with this triple lens camera probe. This one right here that I showed the valves in the 348 with. As a kit, this and that, you don't have to buy this kit here and then buy this separately. And that kit with this and this is 109 bucks. I'll put a link to it in the description. I was using this one for this video because it's just easier to hold without worrying about it dropping. You know, I didn't want this to drop down in the goo. And I can actually hold this into the chassis a fair distance and not have that touch anything. So that's why I kind of like this. The setup is really actually kind of nice. I like it with that antenna, you know, like thing to where I can pull it out and look in other places. But if you just want, if you're not doing things like to where you're gonna go in a chassis with nasty spray that you don't want to get all over your camera, like there's no way I would have shoved this in there. And you want this so you can see your valves and different things in your engine. You know, you can buy that kit, and again, I'll leave a link in the description. Well, that's it for the car video. I'm going to put that fan video in right now. So this is the little bit of video of cleaning that Lakewood box fan up. So I decided to clean this Lakewood, and yeah, this thing's just super cruddy, but the tag is missing from a previous cleaning, and you can see it's just lightly surface rusted. I took this thing into the shower and with the handheld shower head and washed it out and blew out the motor with compressed air. It was really full of dirt, the motor, and cleaned up nice. The only tag that I see is on the motor right there. And so yeah, so this, the grill, one without the cord I'll get, you can see it's still kind of dirty. So come spring, I use Wesley's bleach and a brush, but maybe next summer if I get the pressure washer out, I'll hit it with the pressure washer. The blade cleaned up nice. So anyway, yeah, this may become the next garage painting fan once that Lasco wears out. I'm not gonna, it's not worth painting or anything. But anyway, I'll add this in some video somewhere so you guys can see what I did to it. Well, that's as clean as it's gonna get. That looks all right. It's a little rusty and beat up looking, but hey, better than what it was. All right, we'll turn it on, and as soon as the furnace is done, so you can shuts off, so you can hear the motor start for all my fan guys. We'll start it up on low. You can still see the blade wobble. I thought I could straighten it, but no, it's got ribs in the back of the blade, so it's just the way it is. I think it's just the way it was manufactured. Anyway, we'll put it up on medium now. And high. And of course off. I oiled the heck out of the motor, so it should looked like my brother had been oiling it pretty regularly too, because it had a bunch of like grease and stuff in there. I had to really blow the motor out. The motor was really full of crud. So there we go. This is as clean as, like I say, I'm gonna make this fan. It's just Jim Dandy. I'll probably use it around in the garage, and when the other one I'll still use that Lasco for paint. That's really hideous, but this will be, when that one burns out, this will probably replace that one, but it actually looks okay. I'm okay with it. It's a working fan. And I'll give you a little quick view of the lights illuminated and everything here before we end the video. My grandparents blow mold candles. My grandma worked for Woolworth and purchased some when she worked for them. We figure they're from about the late 40s, early 50s, more the late 40s. And the snowman. So anyway, there we go. I hope everyone has a merry vintage Christmas. All these old, I like the bulbs because everyone's a little different, the look to them. That's why I'm just not a big LED fan. I just like all these. That's an outside painted one there, but I just like all these. I think that's a GE. Yeah, that's a GE. So is that one. The ones with the big GE logo like that don't last that long. The ones that say D24, like, I don't know if I have one here or not, but anyway, they last a little longer. That's, I think, one that says D24 on it. They're not as bright, but they burn a lot longer. These ones here, man, they're probably the ones that burn out the quickest. And the tree. Well, it definitely looks like we got a little snow. See the snow with the branches and the lights. There, well, I hope you enjoyed this whole video. If you liked it, definitely hit the like button. If you like my channel, you can hit that 348 engine icon. That will subscribe you. And thank you for watching my videos.